Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? I see Capitol Hill is erupting because Congress is demanding for Donald Trump's arrest. Yep, y'all heard it right. They are demanding for Donald Trump's arrest. Alright, y'all remember those 7 articles of impeachment? People, Donald Trump might be in trouble this time. I know he in trouble this time. But what y'all need to listen at, Donald Trump don't want y'all to hear. And that's why Funny Bones gonna broadcast it. Y'all listen at what happened at Capitol Hill.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Norah O'Donnell here in Washington, and we are coming on the air as Special Counsel Jack Smith is delivering remarks on the indictment of former President Donald Trump any moment from now.
Wow.
Just over an hour and a half ago, the 38-count indictment was unsealed, 37 of them specifically targeting Mr. Trump. And the accusations made in this indictment are stunning. They allege that the National Archives repeatedly demanded that the former president turn over classified documents beginning in May of 2021. The charges against the former president include willful retention of national defense information, conspiracy to obstruct justice, withholding a document or record, corruptly concealing a document or record, and concealing a document in a federal investigation, scheme to conceal, and false statements and representations.
A federal judge just completely unsealed critical evidence, busting open files that were supposed to stay hidden. These files are linked directly to President Trump's legal battles, and Congress is now in an absolute frenzy, screaming for answers. Within just 24 hours of these documents becoming public, members of Congress began calling for Trump's arrest. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Not impeachment talks or even investigations, but outright calls for an arrest. This is coming from both sides of the political spectrum, which is absolutely wild because that rarely ever happens in Washington, D.C. anymore. When you have Democrats demanding consequences and Republicans are actually agreeing, suggesting something absolutely has to be done, you know you're in uncharted waters. This isn't just typical Washington, D.C. drama. This is something truly groundbreaking unfolding at this very moment. But before we dive deeper, let's be totally upfront about something. You just can't truly rely on mainstream media these days. That's precisely why we created this channel, to deliver real stories, genuine context, and zero corporate spin. If you want to stay ahead of the headlines, join our free newsletter now. We'll deliver the most important news straight to your inbox daily. Just hit that link in the description to sign up. And if you'd like to support what we're building, come join us and become part of a community that truly values the truth. All right, let's jump right back into the video.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice. This indictment was voted by a grand jury of citizens in the Southern District of Florida, and I invite everyone to read it in full to understand the scope and the gravity of the crimes charged. The men and women of the United States intelligence community and our armed forces dedicate their lives to protecting our nation and its people. Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced. Violations of those laws put our country at risk. Adherence to the rule of law is a bedrock principle of the Department of Justice.
Look, I get what you're probably thinking. Another Trump scandal, yet another legal case, just more political theater. But here's the crucial detail that makes this situation stand out. This is all about sealed files, documents that were meant to remain completely hidden, files that judges deliberately kept locked up for specific reasons. And now, someone with genuine authority has decided the American public deserves to finally see what's truly inside. Seriously, can you even picture what's got Congress so incredibly riled up that they're demanding arrests less than 24 hours after seeing this material? The only scenario where Congress acts this quickly is if the evidence is truly shocking. The sole way you see bipartisan demands for immediate action is if everyone who reviewed the materials and reached the same conclusion about how serious this truly is. That simply doesn't occur in normal political circumstances. The timeline here is incredibly important. We're talking about January 2025, when the Department of Justice first began filing documents to release Special Counsel Jack Smith's classified report to Congress. Democrats were already heavily advocating for full disclosure. They wanted every single detail out in the open. They wanted the American public to understand what truly transpired. And now, boom, a judge has seemingly decided to unseal the evidence regardless. And suddenly, it's as if someone tossed a lit match onto a huge pile of gasoline. Everything just exploded simultaneously. The carefully controlled release the Department of Justice had planned turned into an uncontrolled public exposure of classified materials that were meant to remain secret, and that completely altered how Congress was prepared to react. Representative Jamie Raskin then posted on X, essentially stating, "The Department of Justice simply cannot just stand by and do nothing if there's legitimate criminality involved here." He was demanding immediate action, real action, not the typical slow-motion investigative process we usually see, not the kind of situation where lawyers debate jurisdiction for half a decade while the public forgets what truly happened. He's a...
People, all this delaying and all this stuff that Donald Trump is famous for is coming to an end. End real fast. People, I told y'all he can't mess with this Constitution. The judges are doing their jobs now. The Supreme Court doing their job now. Senators doing their job. House of Representatives doing their job. And all of them have one goal in mind. Hold Donald Trump accountable. And people, don't turn that down. Don't look away. Because it's here. Staring us right in the face. It's here. Been telling y'all for 2 years they're gonna catch up with Donald Trump, and when they do, it's gonna be ugly. I told y'all that. Go back to my playlist, people. I've been saying this all along. All along. So now they're not willing to overlook Donald Trump's filth and greed and fraud and war crimes and the breaking of the Constitution. Jack Smith has got him. Letitia James, all of them, they have him. They're on him. Y'all can see. They are on him. And it's getting worse and worse by the day. And it's not going to change, people. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Asserting if the evidence shows what people believe it shows, then the Department of Justice has to move. They must act. They absolutely must take it seriously. This isn't just some vague, throwaway comment either. This is a lawmaker who serves on significant committees actually calling out the department for its potential lack of action. This is an individual with genuine congressional power stating the government must respond instantly and with clear determination to whatever explosive details are in these files. And then you have Lisa Murkowski, who's a prominent Republican, straight up declaring that sealed documents simply cannot conceal corruption. The American public deserves the absolute truth, no matter how high up the chain that corruption reaches. Just consider that for a moment. A Republican senator is actually making that statement. We simply don't live in a political landscape where Republicans typically declare, we need to expose things concerning Republican presidents, right? That's just not how party loyalty operates in today's Washington, D. When a Republican steps out of line and makes a statement like that, this is a huge red flag that whatever's tucked away in these files is seriously damaging. It's the kind of statement that screams something truly explosive must be lurking within those documents. We're talking about someone willing to throw her own party under the bus because she believes the truth matters more than team loyalty. So, what we're witnessing here is a perfect storm brewing. You've got classified evidence that was meant to stay under wraps. You've got federal judges deciding to make it public anyway. You've got Democrats pushing hard for full disclosure. You've got Republicans declaring that honesty trumps party allegiance. And you've got Congress, as a collective, basically losing their minds, demanding immediate action, just hours after getting a glimpse of what's actually in these files. This is the kind of pivotal moment where everything shifts. This is the sort of situation where what seemed politically impossible yesterday suddenly becomes an absolute political necessity today. The classified documents angle in all this is massive. I'll dive deeper into that in just a second, but the gist of it is that former President Trump apparently had classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. That much isn't really up for debate anymore. Investigators found them. The courts confirmed they found them. The big question has always been what he did with them, why he possessed them, and whether there was any intention to obstruct justice or jeopardize national security. These are the inquiries that have been sealed away in secret files. These are the details judges have been shielding from the public eye, and now those questions are finally being answered for everyone to see. Here's where it gets truly wild.
People, we saw him moving boxes. We know they have that. We even saw that. The public saw that. We also saw all this stuff that he's been doing. Blowing up those fishing boats, pretending that they were drug agents, drug boats, and they were not. Not answering for that. When he was withholding those documents, they got him on video. We heard the audio. Him saying he don't know if this is classified, but he didn't care. Didn't matter if it was classified. The people that was watching it was not. They had no authority to see it. He's supposed to have been turning it in. He had it in his bathroom. Yeah. So he partnered all these people. It ain't gonna do no good once you go down. The partner's gonna go. Because these folks might be charged again. Government ain't gonna let that slide like that, people. So, Mr. Trump, you in some bad trouble. Just like Funny Bone been saying all along, you in some bad trouble, bro. You won't not get out of this one. I got to see him get out of this one. So, he's not gonna Harry Houdini this one. That's for sure. He's in some trouble.
This isn't just about some classified papers chilling in a storage room somewhere. This whole mess connects to absolutely everything. It ties directly into the January 6th investigations. It links up with all the coordination allegations. It completely opens the door for Congress to start asking about collaboration between various individuals, between the Trump organization, and between whoever else might have been involved. When you unseal files, you don't just find one scandal. You uncover threads that branch out in every direction. You discover connections between different investigations. You find evidence that could implicate multiple people in numerous activities spanning several years. And that's precisely why Congress is freaking out. That's why you're seeing bipartisan demands for action. That's why members are actually uttering the word arrest in their public statements, because whatever's inside those files apparently ties multiple things together. Multiple investigations, multiple potential violations, and multiple people who might be involved in activities that actually...
Let me tell y'all something, people. The Trump administration is in some bad trouble. They still lying for him to this day. Pam Bundy, Patel. But they've been having a real bad last couple of weeks. All these depositions. Had to go before Congress and speak. Trying to hide Epstein stuff. And they ain't buying none of it. They're in there trying to deflect. Trying to pretend like they still got active investigations because they can't. That's why they can't answer no question. That's a damn lie. They just stalling. They ain't got no investigation going on whatsoever. Yeah. And I see what the top officials telling Donald Trump that the military and nobody else are going to do anything illegal for him anymore. You don't have to do nothing illegal to break the Constitution. You can refuse that. And that's what these people are doing. Donald Trump fired some of his lawyers and they didn't even leave. You can't even fire your own people. He fired his lawyer, they sat there. Yeah. It's bad, people, when you can't fire your own lawyers. They refuse to leave when you tell them they fired. So, Donald Trump, don't fire them so fast. You're going to need them. Which they ain't going to do you no good, but you're going to need somebody to stand there beside you to hold you up when you fall. Because when you get 1 trillion years added onto a sentence, we know lightheadedness is one of the symptoms of that. So people, I saw this, and I had to show it to y'all. Donald Trump was in bad trouble. Couldn't happen to a nice dictator wannabe. And that's all he's gonna be, a dictator wannabe. See how you dictate behind prison. That's what I want to see. So people, y'all hit the thumbs up. If y'all like the video, hit the thumbs up. Y'all ain't subscribed yet, please do so. Subscribe, hit all content. Cause Funny Bone gonna bring it to you. Point blank period, people. I'm gonna bring it to you. I'm gonna bring you the news. Especially about these heathens. I'm gonna bring you the news about that. So people, I saw this. I wanna say how y'all doing. Y'all have a good evening. Funny Bone love y'all. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up.